Hello everyone, my name's Captain Jack and welcome back to a sort of a talky video. We're going to chat about Planet Wars today and the Redwood story universe. So I hope you will enjoy the last ever episode of Planet Wars Season 1 and the series as a whole, to be honest, because this is what this video is about. It's about whether there'll ever be a Planet Wars Season 2, because a lot of people are still confused after the ending of the actual series, so I'm here to clear a few things up, answer a few questions and stuff like that. Basically, in the very end, before the text on the screen, because I don't think a lot of people read the actual credits bit and the sort of notes I left at the end of the video, the Shadow Man mentioned Phase 2. That doesn't mean Season 2. Sorry to burst everyone's bubble here. It doesn't mean Season 2. It's actually a reference to my upcoming series called Redwood, which is going to be my full-blown series either at the end of this year or the start of next year. Phase 2 is a reference to something which will happen in that series, which you'll eventually see when that series airs around about episode 10 of it. So it'll be pretty cool to see how that all links in. One of the big things about being a Machinima director and creating content and cinematic stories like this, I love interlinking content. So as such, you will still see Venom and Jack in other content set before Planet Wars. This will lead me into another bit in a minute about Epsilon and Phantom, two other standalone Machinimas, as well as you'll see characters that have come into a Planet Wars series like Stake and Ford and the Ardent Moon. You'll see them in Redwood before they actually journey over to join Planet Wars. Now, the reason there's going to be no Season 2. I've said this quite a lot. I've done Planet Wars for a year now, and the story for myself, I'd like to move on to something fresh. Rather than keep doing the story of Planet Wars and the story of Jack and Venom, I'd rather move on to something fresh. Hence why I'm going to be doing Redwood as my full production soon. Yes, I am doing Phantom and Epsilon, but those are new stories set before the events of Planet Wars, so while I still have to stay to a strict timeline and story motive to get the characters in the right positions to go into Planet Wars, I still have a bit of freedom. In fact, I can create new stories around them and shape the universe how I want it to. By the way, if you didn't know already, my story universe is called Redwood Universe. It's sort of like how you've got the Doctor Who universe, the Star Wars universe. It's what I call mine, essentially. So all these sort of short Machinimas, Redwood, Planet Wars, Phantom, Epsilon, they all come under the Redwood universe. It's sort of just my tag name for it. Hopefully at some stage I'm going to get a wiki set up, you know, sort of like Memory Alpha and the Doctor Who TARDIS data core, stuff like that. Hopefully you're going to get something set up like that, but that takes time and effort. I'm going to look into it soon, because I know a lot of people really want to learn more about the lore. If you are interested in the lore of Redwood, you can come over to my Discord server. There will be a link down below. There's the Redwood Universe chat in there and hashtag SCRedwood. I frequently drop lore spoilers and stuff like that, or just little hints and answer loads of questions. If you ever got any questions about the lore, pop into Discord. I'm happy to chat in the lobby sometimes, because at the end of the day, people who are interested in my stories, I'll happily give them the time to talk to about it. But yes, no Season 2 at Planet Wars, simply because, in all honesty, I'm bored of the story. And I don't mean that in a mean way or anything. The support you guys have shown for it is absolutely amazing. And some of the comments on the end of the Season 1 of Planet Wars was absolutely amazing. For episode 40, it all blew me away at how many people became attached to his characters and stuff like that. But simple fact is, I've been working on it for a year now, and to be honest, I'd like to move on to something new. Hence why I'm doing Phantom, Epsilon, and Redwood. Now, while Phantom and Epsilon, like I said, I have to stick to a storyline to get the characters in the right places. With Redwood, I've got free control. As long as I send certain characters to Planet Wars eventually, I've got free control on where I take the series. Because the series exists in the same timeline, and the characters aren't connected. The events of the two series are lightly connected. So although things travel in between them, I don't have to bear down the rules that much. We can bring major characters along and stuff like that. But altogether, Redwood's going to give me a lot more freedom for what I can do. While I'd love to do a Season 2 at Planet Wars, I've got an idea of how I would do a Season 2. It's not on the table at the minute, simply because I want to go ahead and do something else. I'm never saying there's never going to be a Season 2 of Planet Wars, but it's highly unlikely I'll ever go back to it. And for people saying, oh, but you need to continue Jack and Venom's story, to be honest, I'd rather them being left alone. I don't want to kill them off, because people love the characters at the end of the day. So I'd rather people use their imagination. We know what happened at the end. They're journeying back to RWI space. Maybe they're kind of adventures on the way, maybe it can be fan stories and stuff like that. But the canon answer is the fact they are journeying back to RWI space. And that's how I'm going to leave it, to be honest. Because at the end of the day, maybe one day we'll pick up Planet Wars, or maybe at the very end of Redwood they'll come back. That's not confirmed, it's just a theory so far. But at the minute, Jack and Venom's story, as well as the Eclipse and Serenity's crew, is being left there. We'll still see characters like the Shadow Man, Admiral Sark, and people like that in Redwood, so don't fear, we will see the Shadow Man again, because I know a lot of people are interested in who he actually is. Obviously, yes, he is based off the Elusive Man from Mass Effect, heavy inspiration there. But yeah, people are still interested in who he is in my universe. But then again, it's not the last we've seen of the Eclipse, is what I'll say. A little spoiler for you there. So we will see the Eclipse again, I can guarantee you that. Because it is my favourite starship at the end of the day in my universe, so we'll see it again soon. But yeah, my upcoming stories, moving on to that, the upcoming stories, so hopefully landing in late July with SC Phantom, which is a storyline on how Jack lost his command ship, which is the RWI Phantom. It's basically a flagship similar to the Apollo. You've seen the Phantom in a few live streams and backgrounds of videos now. The cloaking device video I did yesterday, you can see the Phantom hidden in the background there, or a different version of it. But yeah, it's basically going to tell the story about 3 to 4 weeks before the events of Planet Wars on how Jack lost his command ship, hence why he now uses a little frigate or corvette called the RWA Eclipse. Obviously, we all love the Eclipse anyway, but it'd be pretty cool to show how Jack wants to have this formidable dreadnought sort of battlecruiser Phantom and how he lost it. So that's going to be a cool independent story that's going along. Set 4 weeks before the events of Planet Wars. So yeah, definitely check out that when it comes. There should be a few trailers dropping soon. I'm currently in the middle of writing the story. It's almost at its end of writing. We'll start filming soon, and we've just finished building the Phantom actually. Just got to do the interior. Voice actor's been selected. If you've not applied to be a voice actor yet and you really want to be, do it now, because I'm in the last process of actually selecting my voice actors, so it'd be amazing to have a few people on board. That being said, as soon as Phantom's over, we have SE Epsilon. Now, you've heard me mention Epsilon Base quite a few times. If you stick your ear close to Planet Wars lore, you've noticed Epsilon Base has been mentioned like 100 times now. The Battle of Epsilon Base is where the Eclipse became damaged and therefore substantially crashed on the Planet Wars planet after a failed jump. So did the Orion and Commander Ryan that. Don't worry, we've not forgotten about Commander Ryan. You'll see him in Redwood. Take it out with a pinch of salt. But yes, Space News Epsilon is set literally 24 hours before the events of Planet Wars. It tells the story of how the Eclipse journeyed there to the Epsilon Base, got attacked, what became known as the Battle of Epsilon Base, and then crashed on Planet Wars. That's where Planet Wars starts off. Treat Epsilon like a crossroads. Planet Wars starts off on your right, Redwood starts on your left. As soon as Epsilon's done and finished, we're going to have about a month's break, then the series of Redwood will kick off. Now Redwood kicks off and follows on the same parallel, like train tracks basically, of how Planet Wars goes. Planet Wars ends a lot earlier than Redwood will do, simply because the story's more contained, whereas Redwood's more expanded. For example, whereas Planet Wars, each episode is converted to a day in the actual world, the universe. Redwood will cover that amount of time, so one episode of Redwood will cover 5 episodes of Planet Wars. So we're going to quickly overtake the amount of episodes Planet Wars has done. But yes, that's what's happened. So Epsilon is going to be our sort of core point. A bit like the Battle of Yavin for Star Wars, Epsilon's going to be our core point, where Redwood starts and Planet Wars starts. Obviously Planet Wars already started and finished, but timeline-wise, Redwood will start at the exact same time Planet Wars started, because the events of Redwood carry over. You'll see why in episode 1 of Redwood, when it eventually airs in, I'd like to say sometime between October and November, but due to life events and stuff like that, I can never guarantee dates, so that's why I'm sort of giving brief dates at the minute. Like I say, hopefully sometime these series will come. It's definitely on my agenda and definitely something I want to do this year, and filming these Machinima series, so it's going to be quite cool. I'd be really interested in hearing your guys' opinions down below, and like I said, if you've got any questions about my stories, sort of in my cinematic universe, feel free to pop into my Discord. The link is down below. Come join our community. We do loads of community game nights, etc. I'd be really interested in chatting to you about my story universe. Any questions you have below, comment down below, and as long as they're not too spoilery or asking too deep questions, I'll try and answer a few of them about the story universe. But once again, from the bottom of my heart, I really thank you all for taking an interest in my story universe. You don't know how much happiness it brings me to find people enjoying, and the emotional response it drove from the end of Planet Wars, that people actually enjoyed the characters I created and the story I wrote. It actually blew me away. So thank you so much to the people who love the series, and yeah, while Planet Wars is over, the characters A won't be forgotten, and B, we'll see a few of them again soon. It'd be great to see that. Like I said, I'm going to work on setting a wiki up for people who are interested in that. I may require some help, so come chat to me on Discord if you're interested in helping out with that. But other than that, I've been Captain Jack. Thank you for watching this lore-filled story video, and watch out for Space News Phantom coming very soon. Tune into my live streams if you'd like to see more of the Phantom. We frequently show it off, how its battle capabilities and what happens in it. But yeah, other than that, I've been Captain Jack. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.